claim to teach everybody else, you've done a poor job of teaching yourself. You who preach against stealing, do you steal? You who say that people should not commit adultery, do you not commit adultery? You who abhor idols, do you not rob temples? You who brag about the law, do you dishonor God by breaking the law? As it is written, God's name is blasphemed among the Gentiles because of you.
I hate the idea of a church becoming a business. Like, it's disgusting to me. But I think that at some point, whenever so much money is coming in, you have to take care of it. You have to figure it out. I think that there are many churches that have let money get in the way. And I think that that is maybe one of the biggest problems in churches today, is that they become a religious business instead of a religious place to meet. Yeah, I mean, I see that being a huge problem, but that being said, churches are ran by people who are not perfect, so they make mistakes. So you have to be somewhat understanding to that, but I think that's a problem. Yeah, I do.
I think there's just a reality that sets in, especially with churches. Once you reach a certain size, you get over a couple hundred members, and the reality is, if you're going to sustain in that type of organization, it has to start looking more like a business. It has to function differently. And I think churches, whether they're larger or smaller, they fight this in so many ways. Of when you're smaller, like Ben said, you want to grow, you want to get bigger, but once you reach a certain level, in order to sustain that organization or that organism, it has to function in certain ways. So,
the church is not a business. I see a lot of commercialization of the church, and it's not a business. That picture of the church, that description of the church as a business or operating as a business, is not the picture you have in God's Word or in the Scriptures. Are there responsibilities associated with the church that require money and transactions and things like that? Of course, but that is not the purpose of the role of the church. And the church is a living organism that is a body that has been called to go out into, again, going out into the world we live in and bringing the truth and grace of Christ to others. And I've heard the illustration that church is like a hospital, in the sense that it's filled with the wounded that need healing, and I believe that's true.
I think one of the trade-offs to a larger church is you do have more of the come, set, and go mentality. And so Danish theologian Soren Kierkegaard said in the 19th century, he saw church, and so you're talking not just today, but lots of years ago, as people coming in to watch a play, and then intermission, pay their payment or give their offering, if you will, and then leave. And so there's not a lot of connectivity. So this is not a problem that's just today, but has been around a long time, is if we're not careful, are we just producing a product, a worship experience, that people come in and engage, and then they leave, but they have no community? Is church more or greater than just its Sunday morning worship? And what we would say is yes, it is community.
I think you have to ask the question, what is it that people really need to, I guess, make a prediction if some of these swings towards more of a concert type setting, as you put it, is going to be long-term or just a blip on the screen, if you will. Because what I've learned through the years in working with people and being in ministry, and whether it was full-time or out, my adult life was not spent entirely in full-time ministry. I've worked years outside of that, but involved with people in ministering to them. And what I've learned is that people's need is what has to be met. And the need that we all have is for redemption.
I think there's benefits to either type of church, whether you're kind of in the middle or you're big or small. The connection's going to be, with a big church, there may be more opportunities, that you may be able to find your type of group or be able to connect in a certain way. There's lots of resources that you can do different things, whether it be mission efforts or, just getting involved in something small. I mean, we've got, I'd say we're a pretty big congregation here, and we've got all kinds of different types of ministries that go on that people can get involved with. And so if the desire's there, I think the bigger the church, the more opportunities there might be. But at the same time, it's a whole lot easier to fall away and just to kind of hide and not be noticed. And so the bigger the church, at the same time, you may have more opportunities, there may be more people involved, but it's also easier to lose track of the member that may need it the most.
Underlying this attraction in some of these groups or churches, if you will, that, again, speaking from my own observation, coming together, they're searching for something deeper. They don't want staid, dry ritual, which is one end of the extreme, but swinging to the other end where it's just one stimuli after another. That's not ultimately the answer either. The answer is finding God and discovering redemption through a genuine relationship with God.
The mindset of waking up on a Sunday and going to church and checking it off and saying, I'm good, I went to church on Sunday, is bad for your faith. You're not going to grow that way. So I believe that church is what you make it. If you make church your religion, you're going to have a problem. If you are not applying yourself the rest of the week, Sunday morning is not going to do anything for you. So, do I think mega churches are bad for religion? Not necessarily. Could they change things? Yes. Could they put people in that mindset? Yes. So, if you want to blame a mega church for doing that, then that's your own thing. But I don't think you can blame the church for someone else's actions.